My name is Byron Brooks. I'll be the host for you tonight. Thank you very much, man. I tell you what, man, when Lenny told me we were having a show this Friday, I was like, look, man, I might be booked. I'm not really sure if I can make it. And then he reassured me that it would be the most diverse group of white people you've ever seen in your life. And I was like, I'm there, fam. I'm there. So yeah, man, I'm glad to be here. It's good to be here. Mostly because I've been having a shit day today. Like, yeah, it's been horrible, really. I'm glad I'm here now, but let me tell you, I woke up this morning. First place I walk into, there's like this kid there. He's like 2-3 years old. He's pointing at me, calling me a loser. And all I could think to myself was, man, even at the age of 3, this little shit's got me figured out. But fuck that kid, right? What the hell's a 2-year-old doing in a strip club in the middle of the day anyway? Kid needs to get his life together. So like I said, my name is Byron Brooks. I live in the White Marsh area, if you're familiar with that. Happily married, have a wife, son, 2 cats at home. And I'm blessed to be able to come out and do comedy for people like you almost every day, so I can spend as little time with them as possible. I'm joking, guys, man. I love spending time with my cats. They're cool. Got any cat people here? Oh, awesome. How many cats you got? 3? Okay, you got me beat by 1. What are their names?
One's Marvel, Loki, and Thor.
Marvel, Loki, and Thor. Someone's Jesus Christ. Yeah, okay, got you. Yo.
When you said that, I was like, maybe you heard me wrong.
But hey, where are the dog people in the house? Always more dog people, man. Last time I asked this, man, people started barking at me. It was crazy. But yeah, man, I'm not a big dog person. Not that I hate dogs. I don't hate dogs. It's just that I've dated a lot of white women in my life. Sometimes the dogs are racist, yo. That's not even really a joke. That's more like a PSA. Like, you ever heard a dog bark with a hard R? Shit's terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. But yeah, man, speaking of white women, I ended up marrying one. She's cool. Well, we know who fucks black guys right there. She's cool. She's alright, you know. She's really white though. She's like Renaissance Festival white. Like I met her on FarmersOnly.com. Just kidding, man. She's cool though. She doesn't understand though sometimes the nuances of being in an interracial relationship. Like, she doesn't understand the whole concept of when you see a black man run, what do? You run. Thank you. You run. You don't ask where the fuck we're going. You don't ask when we're gonna get there. You run. I was in a bar the other day with my wife. Good example. She's super nosy too. We were sitting there enjoying our drinks, and a fight breaks out in the back of the bar. And of course, her nosy ass gets up and wants to go look and see what's going on. And she sees what I assume to be a gun. And the only reason I say assumed is because by this time my ass was already in the car. She's calling me from inside the bar like, they're shooting in here. I'm like, yeah, that's why I'm out here. Now, if you don't get your ass in the car now, I'm leaving your ass here. But she's cool, man. We've been married for about 16 years now. Yeah, it's not an achievement. That just means I gave up. We got married couples here? Yeah, awesome. How long have you been married?
25 years.
25 years. Give them a hand. That's awesome, man. I'll be a broken man by that time. 33? Awesome, man. Yo, I've been married for 16. You know what sex after 16 years of marriage is like? Still good for me. For her, not so much, man. Well, I was just having this conversation with my wife the other day after sex when she was done crying. It was terrible. It was terrible. But yeah, after 16 years of marriage, I'm 44 now. I'm learning about this new thing that nobody warned me about, and I'm kind of mad at you. Whoa, shit. I almost hit the deck there. What the fuck? but yeah, they I'm a little mad at you older guys that you didn't warn me about as I'm getting older. This thing that they call perimenopause. Y'all familiar with perimenopause? And for you younger guys that don't know what that is, that means that you can get stabbed at any time for having the thermostat at the wrong temperature. Man, it's crazy that she's just hot all the goddamn time, and she's mean. She's gotten mean. I miss PMS so much. I miss, like, the other day I was sleeping. I was just sleeping in the room, getting ready for a show like this. And she comes busting in the room, kicks the door, and is like, "Wake up!" And I'm like, what's going on? Why did you wake me up? She was like, "You look peaceful." Yeah, that's crazy, man. This is the shit I have to put up with. You know, getting woke up because you look peaceful is like getting invited to a mansion party, and then when you get there, you find out it's P. Diddy's birthday. Like, both these situations are going to be super slippery, man. Like, but yeah, man, we moved to, we used to live in Baltimore, and we wanted to move to a nicer place, so we moved to the White Marsh area. And now my son goes to a school that's so white, only two possible bad things could happen to him. A, a school shooting, or B, some really hot teacher tries to fuck him. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Man, my teachers used to look like Thanos with a wig on. They used to like teach during the Monday morning and hunt for infinity stones at night. It was terrible. But yeah, man, like, I remember moving into the White Marsh area because, like I said, we wanted to move to a better area. So we got a little scared. When I first moved in, the neighbors would tell me, "You're like, look, man, you need to watch out. There's a guy who's been running around the neighborhood between the hours of 10 o'clock and 2 in the morning looking into women's windows." I know, it was terrible, but luckily we found out it was just a rumor, because I'm back in the house by 12 o'clock midnight at least. 2 o'clock, man, I got work in the morning, 2 o'clock, that's crazy. But yeah, man, my son's doing good in his new school. He's 12 years old now, has a girlfriend, 7th grade, has a girl. It's crazy. They already talk about getting a house, getting married. It's great. I think it's adorable. It really is adorable. I'm real concerned for this little girl, though, when she finds out my son's gay as shit. How do I know my son's gay? He's just 2025. I asked him the other day, I was like, "Hey, man, do you happen to be gay?" He goes, "Dad, what's gay?" I said, "Well, you know, if a man likes a man or a woman likes a woman, they're part of the gay community." He goes, "There's no way I could be gay, Dad. I have a girlfriend." I was like, "Oh, you do you? Okay, cool, calm down. I just don't want anybody to be homophobic towards you, man. I don't like that. That's not cool with me." And he looks at me, he goes, "What's homophobic?" I said, "Well, take me, for instance, right? If I liked another man, someone may not like that. They might be mean to me. That's called being homophobic." You know, this little shit looked me right in my face and said, "Dad, if you were gay, it wouldn't be homophobic. No one likes you anyway." Whoa, fuck you, son. That's some gay ass shit to say to me. But he really is a good kid, man. He really is a good kid. I mean, who else am I going to get clean pee from to pass drug test, right? And yeah, look. I feel a little gay sometimes, right? Everybody feels a little gay sometimes, right? Yeah, definitely. Also, Chad, I'm sorry, Chad. What was it? But yeah, man, just like 2%, like a good milk. You know what I mean? But like, I remember, I definitely probably have some gay tendencies, and the only reason I say that is because back in 1993, when I was 13 years old, No one told me that RuPaul was a man. No one, not one person. Do you know how many crusty socks my mom had to pick up before I found out this nigga had a dick? And you think my friends would like tell me, like RuPaul, and I guess they did. Now that I think about it, they would say things like, hey man, RuPaul does drag. RuPaul does drag. And I'd be like, look man, I really don't care what kind of car she likes to drive in her spare time. She is fine. Man, messes me up to this day, man. Messes me up to this day. So, we having a good time tonight, guys? I know you guys are drinking. Just make sure, first off, tip your wait staff. They're out here doing God's work. Secondly, make sure you don't... Bad things happen when you're drunk, guys. Bad things happen. You drink responsibly. I'll give you a good example. I used to have this girlfriend. She used to get pissed drunk every night. And every night, she would go running out of the front door of our second-story apartment. She'd go tumbling down the stairs to the first story, and then she'd sit there for a while giggling, and then get up like nothing ever happened. And I'll tell you, man, she was such a great sport, man. Never once did she complain that I pushed her. Not one time. Not one time. Got anybody got siblings here? Siblings? All right, so you got everything here. Nah, brother or sister?
4 brothers.
4 brothers. Are you the youngest, oldest?
Yes.
Oh, you guys close?
Yes.
Pretty close? Awesome. None of them are here tonight? You couldn't bring them?
No. They're old.
Old people like to laugh. Nah. Okay, I get it. Do you remember the first time you saw your brother naked?
Well, that's one of his. I don't think I have.
Look.
I'll tell you answer that.
This is a safe space. There's only me in here and her here. Safe space. So you try to put it out of your mind? I understand, man. I totally understand. Like, I remember the first time I saw my sister naked. I was terrified. I walked into the room, I was like, put your clothes on. And of course, she's terrified. She grabs all of her clothes, she goes running out. And I'll tell you what, man, I was so relieved. But let me tell you, everybody else in the strip club was pissed at me. The 3-year-old standing there calling me a loser and shit. It was terrible. Kid needs to get his life together. Yeah, man. But, see here. What else do I got for you tonight? So, like I said, being 44, I do things that I probably should not do. Like, I don't know if you can tell, probably not, but I enjoy going to heavy metal concerts and jumping into mosh pits. And at 44, that's something you probably shouldn't be doing. Like last concert I went to was Slipknot. You guys familiar with Slipknot? Got any Slipknot fans in here? Couple? Yeah, there we go. For all you people who aren't familiar with Slipknot, I'll give you a short description. They're kind of like if crystal meth came to life and robbed a Spirit Halloween store and then a Guitar Center. But yeah, man, I walked in, had a great time at the concert, and of course my ass had to get in the mosh pit. And I could tell I wasn't supposed to be in the mosh pit by the way I was getting in. It was kind of like I was skipping double dutch. Like, probably shouldn't get in. In my mind, I'm in there. I'm like, I'm gonna fuck this place up just like I did when I was young. And my brain's telling me, look, man, you're gonna have a good time in here. You're about to fuck these big dudes up. But my body's telling me that you're about to pull a hamstring and call out of work tomorrow. You pulled your muscle reaching for snacks the other day. What the hell do you think you're doing? Yeah, man. So we're gonna get this thing rolling. I got one more joke for you before I go. Just a short PSA. I have a comedy special on YouTube called Comedy and Magic. You can look it up. It was filmed at the Port Comedy Club in Baltimore, Maryland. I did it was called Comedy and Magic because I did it co-headlining with a magician. And every time I do a show with this magician, I think to myself, man, like, why aren't there any black magicians? Can anybody here name a black magician? No. And I started to think to myself, maybe black people don't need magic. Can you imagine me with magic? Spades games would never be the same, man. I'd be sitting at a red light, cops pull me over, they'd be like, sir, do you know why? Smoke bomb, peace nigga. Child support, now you see it, now you don't. I'm fucking around, guys. Those kids need that child support, man. I just don't understand why child support's gotta be so expensive. Especially when I know for just 75 cents a day, you can support a child in need. It's the same as a cup of coffee. All right, you ready for your next comedian? All right, very funny man. I've known him for about a year now. Please put your hands together for Bob Heisler.
Give it up again. Give it up again. I've talked so much since I got here, I don't have a voice left. And I think I've told half my jokes, so they weren't that good. So, on the way down here, you know, when you don't get sleep and you're on good meds, things just pop in your head. You know, the problem is I'm 66 and they pop out as fast as they pop in, and I got to write this stuff down. But on the way down, I've got the car GPS, I've got Waze on my phone, and I've got my wife, all giving me directions to get here. Not one of them agreed to where we were going. As I got closer, I'm trying to listen to the 31 satellites in space. It had me across the street. The AI-generated billion-dollar Waze had me around the corner, and the one that got me here was the one that came from a German guy that probably worked 5 to 7 minutes in an Italian factory and came to work drunk. But she got me here. So I'm from downtown Baltimore, and when I travel outside of Baltimore, people know that I don't speak the American language. They say we have our own stuff, we leave syllables out, we start in the middle of paragraphs, and people all know, you're from Baltimore, right? Yeah. The city that reads, right? Yeah, okay, well why don't you try some of that shit? You know? So I was talking to my wife about what I was going to say tonight, and I'm sorry to tell you, Byron, but I've been married 42 years. 42 years. And I thought about that on the way down. I could have killed her twice and been on parole. But the math adds up.
Only twice?
Well, let me start at the beginning. As a young man in Baltimore, there was this girl that lived around the corner. She had the most beautiful eyes you've ever seen. Every time I saw her, I said, man, she is so cute. And we started dating. Well, I was 18, and she was 14, all old, right? So people say, oh, you were childhood sweethearts. Well, no, I was her childhood sweetheart. She was my first misdemeanor. The problem was I was a repeat offender. And we broke up a couple of times, so I'm sure I'm a 3-time loser. So I got a life sentence, you know. Pretty much how it goes, you know. I didn't read the small print on that contract. So we lived in an Italian neighborhood, you know. Most of the moms were Italian, but some of the dads were German, and I figured it out. God had this power. He would look down at earth, and when we screwed things up, he'd fix it. And he saw how bad the Germans were during World War II. And he says, look, I'm going to fix this shit. I'm making all the German guys marry Italian women so they'll never have power again in the rest of their existence. And I thought about it. It's like, does he do this all the time? Does he do it for other things? And I thought about, you know, blacks were enslaved for how many years? 100 years? So at some point in time, I think God looked down on earth and he says, this just isn't right. I'm going to make them all athletes and musicians and singers and stuff and give them all the money they want. But again, they screwed it up. They squandered it. And God said, I got to fix this shit. So he gave them all white women. Sorry, Byron. So I had a rough childhood. I mean, I grew up in a little neighborhood in Baltimore. I lost my dad to smoking when I was 5. He went out one day for a pack of cigarettes and never came back. My mom had a stroke when I was 6 after she had my daughter, who was over here next to the cat lady. So that's my cousin. So my sister. So my grandparents raised me, and I always thought they were so strict because other kids got to come home when the street lights came on, right? The street lights come on, you go home. I had to be home at 7:30. I was like, yeah, it just wasn't right. I thought they were really strict. And then I became a grandparent. And I realized I was home at 7:30 because their bedtime was 8 o'clock. It had nothing to do with being strict or not, you know. So my wife and I, you know, like I said, we've had ups and downs. We have 3 daughters. I have one that's beautiful, one that's smart, and one that's nice. And then there's the other 2. You know? So, I mean, you get what you get. It's a package deal. You know, you do the best. You love them all equally. You love them more when they move to Texas, like one of them did. I love them all. And her husband is my favorite son-in-law because I see him once a year at Christmas. And love the kid. Love him. So I've gone through life. I've done a lot of crazy jobs. I've got friends and family here. They know all the stupid stuff I've done. I was a cop and I worked for the government. And I'm really pissed off now that they're letting these people go in the government. You think it's right? I mean, I'm trying my best to get hired back so I can get that severance package. I mean, I didn't stick around long enough. That's bullshit. If they're going to pay me to leave, I'm going back. I mean, I can sweep floors for 6 months. It don't matter. So, after my 3rd kid, and I say I was a state cop. I mean, I was a state cop. We didn't make no money back then. And I know 1,000 times I told my wife, you know, we're broke. We're broke. And I really didn't think she was listening. And then one day after the 3rd kid was born, she took me to the doctors and had me fixed. I didn't know I was broke that way. I was like, hey, man, I knew I was broke. But sitting in the stirrups, getting fixed is very emasculating, you know? I'm sitting there and the doctor's down there and I smell something burning. I said, hey, what's burning? He goes, oh, that's you. I said, don't you tie stuff? He goes, not anymore. We just solder your ass and send you home. You ain't coming back from that. You ain't coming back. So around 10 years of marriage, I got 3 kids. I'm working 2 jobs, drinking every day, and even that wasn't helping. I tried. So being Catholic, you know, we had to go see a marriage counselor. So we got to see the priest. So now I'm seeing this priest, who was the same priest I had when I was an altar boy. Now, I'm part of the lawsuit. Not that one. I have the other lawsuit, the one that didn't get touched. We have our own lawsuit. Because I've been damaged for life. Like, what was wrong with me? You know? So here I am, sitting in this room, across the table from this priest and my wife, for marriage counseling. I'm thinking, here I am, with 2 people I'm not good enough for. This shit just ain't right. You know. So through my career, I had a bunch of injuries and stuff, and I wound up having some spinal issues. I started having seizures about 5 or 6 years ago, and every time I laid in bed, I started shaking. I couldn't stop. So they thought I had MS, and they put me through a bunch of tests for a year. Finally, I go see this 90-year-old neurosurgeon, and he looks at my MRI on my brain. He goes, I'll tell you, for your age, your brain looks pretty good. I said, well, it should be brand new, Doc. I hardly ever use it. And he goes, all right. He goes, well, let me look at your neck. This guy turned white as a ghost. He looks at my neck. He goes, I'm going to tell you, this guy here on this MRI shouldn't be walking. And I said, all right, I got my car outside. I mean, where do you want me to go? So he sets me up for surgery. And they do this thing where they pull your spinal, your esophagus and everything over, and they put a plate in the front. So I remember going in, and the doctor's talking to me, and they bring the guy in for anesthesia, and he goes, count back from 100. That was some good stuff. I think I got to 97. I was gone. So I'm laying in bed, and I wake up, and it's a few hours later, and the nurse is standing there, and she's like, welcome back. And I said, I don't want to be a pony. She said, what? I said, I don't want to be a pony. She said, why would you say that? I said, I know right before I fell asleep, I heard that doctor say, when you wake up, you're going to be a little horse. I didn't want none of that shit. So we go through some stuff, and I'm still having seizures and stuff, and I go see the doc again, and I tell him, I said, I got to get some pleasure out of this thing. I got to get some relief. They got to fix me. And she's like, I don't really want you to get fixed. I said, why not? I said, every time I get in bed, I shake like crazy. She said, yeah, but that sex is great. So I put it off as long as I could. Good for me, bad for her, it got fixed again. So I'm thinking about family and friends and stuff, and as I go through life, you have less family and less friends, and you really realize how great God is. He gets rid of all these assholes that you didn't want around anyway. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. You know? So, I guess that's my time. What do you think? Good enough? Good enough.
One more time for Bob Heisler. All right. You guys ready for your next comedian? All right, I've also known this guy for a really long time. Very funny man. He's also the Intercontinental Champion of Comedy. Please put your hands together for Thez Grimes. Keep going, keep going.
He's so fun!
What up? I'm single, but I want a wife because I'm tired of being happy. I want to give away half my money. That sounds so fun to me. I want someone to lay out my clothes. You said you're married for 25 years now? 25 years?
Yeah.
And who's married for over 30? Someone said over 30? Over 30? Bob? 42? Bob? 42 years. Good enough for Bob, 42 years. That's in a row consecutive? That's amazing. I can't find a woman to keep my interest for 42 minutes. You out here years. That's amazing. Closest I ever been married, one time I accidentally stuck my ring finger in a gold butthole. She was like, I do. I was like, no. And I feel like love is subjective, I believe. Love is subjective. You know what I saw? I saw the epitome of love the other day when I was in Baltimore. I saw a homeless couple. That, to me, is two people that don't have shit and just fucking hand in hand. You know what they did? They open mouth kissed. That's fucking love right there. Open mouth kissing as a homeless couple. They don't know the last time each other brushed their teeth. Some of you right now woke up in the morning and went to go kiss your significant other and like, oh Lord. Yeah, salami, what is going on? I've been in relationships. I feel like every 10 years, I guess, I fall in love. Shit happens. I remember the first time I was ever in love. I was 19 years old, and it was our first date. I realized I was in love. I live in Havertide Grace. I'm from Havertide Grace. Usually when you do shows, when I go out of town, they always say I'm from Baltimore, but I'm definitely not from Baltimore. I don't have syphilis. First date, we went to Bon Boys, get ice cream. And around this time, yeah, you guys know Bon Boys, yeah. Around this time at 19, I was learning a lot about myself. And around this time, I was learning I'm lactose. I was ignoring all the fucking signs. But we went to get ice cream, and I got a root beer float. And she told me, when I ordered, she told me how she does not like root beer. She didn't like the taste, smell, anything. I was like, cool, because I didn't feel like sharing. And she ordered hers, and we went for a walk. We went to the promenade. We walked on the promenade, and then we sat down on a bench. And as we were sitting there on the bench talking, having a good time, the sun was setting, and I made my move. She was talking. I leaned in, pulled her chin in, and we started making out. 10 seconds into us making out, my stomach starts bubbling. All I know is I don't know if it's coming out this way or this way. I don't know, but it's coming out. And then I burped in her mouth. Remember though, I told you she does not like the taste, smell. It was true. She did not like the taste, and it was right in her mouth. And as soon as I burped in her mouth, she's like, I did like you guys. Started laughing my ass off. I was
Gotcha.
And then we started making out again. I was like, this one is a keeper. That relationship didn't work out. Fast forward 10 years, I'm in love again. I'm in a relationship. We're having going pretty good. We went to the movies. I remember my most favorite memory of us is we went to the movies to see the movie Tyler Perry Temptation. Anyone seen it?
Yes. Yeah.
Just the black guy and me? Cool. I'm gonna tell you guys, go watch it. I'm telling you, it's a good movie. Tyler Perry's not in it at all. I'll give you the synopsis of the movie. The synopsis of the movie is Temptation. It's about a young couple. They grew up in the rural South, right? And very religious families. And they graduate. He gets accepted to a school in New York, so they moved to New York together. She gets a job when they're in New York while he's going to school. She's like a secretary at this place where like they match make people with a lot of money. Why do you need that? And just Tinder. Alright. But that's where she works at. And she's definitely like, you know, a very religious looking person. She has, you know, she wears skirts that, you know, go past her ankles, very frumpy looking. And also, you know, her fucking co-worker is Kim Kardashian. So she looks like a fucking total whore. And during their time there, in walks this man, and I guess we'll call him Mr. And you know, he flirts with her and stuff, and eventually though she falls to temptation, and she does a total 180. She starts hanging out with this man, drinking, doing drugs, and they eventually, you know, hook up. And her husband, you know, he's still trying to, he knows that she's going out with this man and doing all these things, but he's still trying to keep the family together. Like me, I would have been petty and fucked a whole bunch of bitches, but you know, also black men don't cheat, so. And so they, you know, he tries everything. He even gets his mother-in-law to come up and talk to her and try to, you know, help with the situation and everything. But you know, she keeps spiraling. Finally, though, near the end of the movie, they have a very tumultuous affair, and she's like, "I'm leaving. Telling Mister, I'm leaving. I'm not coming back." And they get into a big argument, and it gets physical, and the Mister beats her ass, and at the time that's going on, husband is at home with his co-worker, and she's telling about an abusive relationship she was in. Turns out to be the Mister, and because of that abusive relationship, she also contracted AIDS from him. And so he drives over to where he is, and he walks in and sees a place just destroyed, sees his wife lying there bloody. He sees him, and the guy starts snickering, and he just beats the shit out of him, throws him through glass, crazy stuff going on. I look at my then girlfriend at the time, and I look at what's going on, she's crying, so I put my arm around her, wipe her tear, kiss her on the forehead, and I whispered in her ear, "If you ever cheat on me, I hope you catch AIDS." I'm gonna spoil her this way. She cheated on me. I'm not petty though. I heard she's doing good, and I also hope that her T-cell count is like 4. T-cell, that's what you get low when you got AIDS. And then you die.
One more time for Des Grimes. I am definitely gonna shit with the door open when I get home. Test them bowels out, right? Okay, you guys ready? What? Second off, you look comfortable as shit. Yeah, but I also want to know, why didn't you speak up when I said, why black people run? Were you not here? All right, you guys ready for your next comedian? He is the man that put this thing together. Please put your hands together for Lenny Brissett.
Everybody that's been up here, this is not easy. You know, they make it look easy. They do a great job. They've been doing it way much longer than I have. So give it up to these guys one more time. My name is Lenny. Most of you guys know me. I'm a plumber by trade. It's something that that's it for the plumbers in the house. This is something that I've always wanted to do. And I thought about this. Having some great comedians coming up, like Adam Sandler and all those guys. Something I've always wanted to do. So my story is I've always told, you got two different types of comedians. One that tells jokes, makes them funny. One that tells stories that make them funny. I was a storyteller, but I'm going to tell a joke first because Bob made me think of one. So I'm going to tell a joke first, just to bring the room down, and then we'll go up from there. You know? With Bob being the altar boy, you know, one of the things is, you know why the altar boy's hair is parted down the middle? From the priest going, don't tell nobody, don't tell nobody. So it's all uphill from there. So I'm a storyteller, and I want to tell you guys how I got into this. It started in 2016. February 2016 is where it started. And it get graphic at first. I had blood on my stool. I know from there, trust me, it gets better. So I had to go see the doctor. Figured I had to go to the doctor, talking to my friends, they know everything, just ask them. Even my daughter, I don't even have to Google anything anymore. I just ask my kids, they know more than Google does. So they said, you probably got hemorrhoids. I'm like, all right, you know, I was 42 years old when I had symptoms and all that stuff. I was like, I'll go check it out. So scheduled a doctor's appointment. The doctor goes in, you know, and I'm like, I'm not quite sure how to act. Do I take a rose? I'm not quite sure. I'm a virgin, you know, so we're going to figure this out. So I go in, I'm sitting at the table. I'm a little nervous, you know what I mean? He comes in and he's like, had this limp hand. I said, easy, whiskey finger. I'm like, what are you gonna do with that? And he's confused. He doesn't quite understand what it is I'm talking about. And he's like, huh? And I'm like, oh, this is an inside joke, you know, and all that good stuff. And he's like, all right. He goes, what's the problem? I said, well, I got blood in my stool and I just want to get checked out and all that. He's like, all right, well, pull your pants down, get up on the table. And I'm like, all right. I watch porn. I watch a lot of porn. I'm waiting for season 2 of Pornhub to come out. I've seen all of season 1, you know. So I get on the table and I got my legs pulled up, got my pants down pulled up, and he turns around and he's like, what the hell is this? And I'm like, that's not how it's supposed to be. He goes, oh my God. He goes, are you serious? I'm like, all right. So he's like, no, bend over the table. And I'm like, all right, I can do that. So he's putting the glove on. I said, Doc, no glove, no love. And again, he looks at me like, there is something wrong with this guy. So I bend over the table as he's lubing up, you know, and I turn around to him. I said, look, 1 finger's medical, 2 fingers magical. And he's like, what? So obviously I'm making this guy nervous. So he's real quick. He's like, yep, you got hemorrhoids. We'll just call it a day, you know. So I'm like, all right, pull my pants up. I want to give him a hug. I'm not cheap, you know what I mean? I'm like we're in a relationship now. Trying to give him a hug. He's like, no, you gotta go. And I'm like, all right. Didn't even take the rose that I brought in for him. So this was in February. Come November of 2016, I started to have other symptoms and stuff like that. It started to hurt. My buddy Neil, who thinks he knows everything, just ask him, you know, he says, you probably have to get it banded off. And I'm like, I have no idea what the hell that is. So I called my doctor again, and I heard him in the background this time. It's like, because I was scheduling another appointment. He's like, if that's Lenny, tell him no. I'm not doing that again. He's got to see a proctologist. And he's like, I'll just sign off on that now. And I was like, I thought we were going to get a second date, but obviously that was not the case. So he had to schedule me for a colonoscopy. I'm sorry, he had to schedule me to see a proctologist. And I go in there, now this guy's a professional. I couldn't even intimidate this guy. He shook my hand with a firm grip, and I was like, shit. I knew I was in for a good time, you know? I go in, I strongly suggest this. You go in, he's got a table. It's not even like that table where you have the paper on it and stuff like that. It's a table, it's like, Christian Grey would love to have this table in his room because it's got a motor on it and it's all, put you in, and he's like, just go over there, take your pants down, bend over the table. I'm like, all right. I'm like, the only thing missing is like a ball gag. He's like, I got that over there. Do you want it with a mask? And I'm like, sure, you know. So I go over there and he's like, I'll be right over here on this stool. I said, my stool or your stool? He's a proctologist, I'm trying to figure this out. So I'm bent over, I'm in the most vulnerable position you could possibly even be in. And I just remember hearing him go, whatever you do, don't get a hard on. Whatever you do, Joe, don't get a hard on. I'm like, my name's Lenny. He goes, I know, my name's Joe. So he goes in and he literally lit my ass up. I saw stars, not even good stars. You know, I mean, I was in so much pain and I felt like, I don't want to say this when my daughter's here, but now I know exactly what it was like in those bedrooms when you hit the wrong hole when they see the stars. It's a complete accident, my apologies. You know, so he comes back and he's like, you have a fissure, which is a tear in your rectal wall, and he's like, all right, here's this cream, use this cream for a month, you put it on, and everything will be fine, we'll schedule you for a colonoscopy. And I'm like, all right, I'm good with that. I'm putting this cream on like I'm breaking anal records. Every single day, my kids go to school, and I'm bent over, I'm like, oh my God, and just making that shit numb so I could tolerate the day. So I go on for about 30 days, had my colonoscopy, which again, guys, this is my PSA, you know, it's not that bad, really, it's a weight loss program. It kind of sucks because you're constantly running back to the bathroom. It does make your butt raw, you're constantly wiping, but it really, honestly, I felt cleansed, I felt really good about it. So anyway, I go in for my colonoscopy the next day. They give you that pill, numb you down, and then they get ready to give you anesthesia. My doctor was great. My doctor, Joseph Duraco, he was fantastic. All I remember is he's like, get on the bed, you're like in the fetal position, like you're, again, very vulnerable. And I just remember him doing this. He's like, he's like, count backwards to 10. And he starts pulling his pants, taking his belt off. I'm going, oh, fuck. So I was out, and the nurse smacked my ass. And I'm like, I'm out for an hour. I have no idea. This is like The Hangover. I'm thinking they're gonna have pictures of this stuff. I'm like, whatever, I won't remember. It's like a P. Diddy party, you know? So I wake up and the doctor comes in. I said, what's going on, doc? He's like, oh, nothing. I said, how's everything look back there? I said, because I feel like a Bill Cosby date. I woke up with a bad taste in my mouth and my ass hurts, you know? And he's like, well, I got bad news for you. I said, what's up? He goes, you got cancer. And I was like, all right, all the jokes kind of subsided. I did not know the extent of my cancer. I'll tell you, this is where it gets serious. This was the hardest week of my life.
Don't make us all cry.
I couldn't look at my girls for a week because they had no idea. They couldn't tell them because I had no idea what it was. But I went in for my CT scan and all that good stuff, and everything was good, and I finally told them. And the crazy thing was, I promised them I was going to beat it. And they're like, Dad, how can you do that? And I'm a firm believer, I think your word's the most valuable thing you have as a person. So when you promise somebody, you should always make that promise stick, you know? And I've always done that. My girls will tell you that's one of the, thank you. It's one of the most valuable things you have. That's why I said I do and not I promise, because I'm divorced now. So if I would have said I promise, I'd probably still be married. But I promised my daughters I was going to beat this. And they're like, Dad, how do you know? I'm like, I can only be wrong once, you know? So they shotgun everything once you get to that point. And so I had my CT scan, I had to go do the radiation. I had radiation 5 days a week for 8 weeks. GVMC, which is a great hospital, I certainly appreciated it. And it was kind of humbling. For radiation for the rectal cancer, which is what I had, they put you on a wedge. It's probably the same wedge you can buy at Lovecraft. You know? But, yeah, everybody who's cheering knows exactly. They have one in their bedroom, and I get it. But it was, I go in there every single day, and it lasts about 30 seconds, sort of like my sex life. So I'd go in there, and they would shoot radiation. And I was like, oh, well, this isn't that bad. And they're like, no, it's accumulative. I said, well, dumb it down for me like I live in Bel Air. And they're like, the more you go, the more it's going to hurt. And I'm like, all right. After about a week and a half, they weren't lying. And now when the radiation goes in the front, it comes out the back. And I had a burn right here in the front. No hair grew and all that good stuff. It was just terrible. The only thing I could do in order to go to work was I still had that numbing cream that the doctor gave me with the lidocaine. I was putting that thing on every single day. I get out of that radiation and I'm rubbing this thing on there like this. If I'm being honest, it's like this, you know, and until my shit went numb and it disappeared. And I'm touching it and it's all gone. So radiation was pretty ruthless. So after that, I went in, I saw my doctor. He's like, all right, just so you know, probably have to do surgery. And I'm like, all right, and because of where my tumor was located next to my sphincter, he's like, look, here's how it's gonna go. We have two options. Option number one's simple. He's like, we go in, try to cut the tumor out, and basically you'll have muscle damage, you may end up wearing a diaper and all that good stuff. And I'm like, don't have diaper jokes, you know? So he's like, or we go in and remove the rectum, damn near killed him, we remove the rectum, but we're gonna take your sphincter, and because of where it is, we gotta take your butt cheeks, cut them, sew them together. And again, like I said, I'm a plumber by trade. I said to the doctor, I said, all right, 2 questions. You're gonna take them, sew them together. 1, I'm a plumber. Can you keep my butt cleavage? My friends won't recognize me without my plumber butt crack. And the second one, without a butthole, am I still entitled to my opinion? So when somebody says, opinions like assholes, everybody's got one. Now you know somebody who does not, you know? And he's like, those are the 2 questions you're gonna ask when it talks about this? I'm like, Doc, what am I gonna do? I can't change it, this is who I am. He's like, all right. So I go in, I have surgery. I'll tell you another, I had surgery. This is the standard that I set. I remember it was September 8th, 2017. My youngest daughter had a soccer tournament. And about a year goes by, I've never missed my kids' sports. I've always tried to be there the best I can. Like I said, it was the promise that I made to them and all that good stuff. I was at one of my daughter's soccer tournaments and I was talking to one of her friends. I'm like, yeah, I've never missed one of her soccer tournaments or one of her softball things. And my youngest daughter was like, really? And I'm like, yeah, not that I can remember. She's like, are you sure? And I'm like, yeah. She goes, think about it. I said, if you're talking about when I had surgery to have cancer removed, she's like, were you there? And I'm like, damn. So that was the standard that I set. So I had surgery. One of the bad parts about surgery was, like I said, it was on the back side. They put a drain tube in the back for blood and all that good stuff, catches. I remember the day after my surgery, when I got home on that Monday, I remember I could not walk. So I was crawling to the bathroom to use the bathroom. And I've always called myself a dog. I was everything I never wanted my daughters to date before I had kids. And I became everything I wanted them to marry once I had kids. So here I am walking across this floor. I got this little tube coming out of my butt. And I'm like, karma's a bitch, I am a dog, you know? So I go through that, everything is fine. Then I had to do chemo. It was just a few weeks. I don't have a few jokes about chemo. One of the things that I can tell you, one, it's a great weight loss program. I don't suggest it for anybody. It's terrible. The other one is I had toe fungus. That's gone. Chemo cured that. Again, I wouldn't suggest it. But the only good thing about this whole story is that you can use chemo for everything. They're like, Len, why are you bald? I said, chemo. Like, Len, where did you get that gap in your teeth? My gums, chemo. Yeah. Take your pants down with somebody, it doesn't shrink, just tumors. Yeah. So they gave me, so when it was all over done with, they gave me a colostomy bag. I live with a colostomy bag now. It's part of my life. I live with it. I found the pros and cons. I had to write those down because there's so many positives to this thing. You don't understand. So this is the only time I have to look at my phone because, again, there's just so many. All right. Pros. Not afraid to go to prison. I'm like this. If you're going to bang me, you're going to bang my stomach. You're going to look me in the eye. What kind of man are you? Yeah. Spot of pots. Not afraid to sit. I don't have to sit on them anymore. I just go in, dump my bag. Cold toilet seats in the morning. How often do you guys have to do that? I don't. Well, I'll tell you the bad part about that is actually because I got to get on my knees to dump my bag. So in public places like this, you go into the stall and you see some guy on his knees. There's only 3 things he's doing. You're either throwing up, jerking off, or sucking a dick. I used to act like I was throwing up, but now with the way the porn is now, it's like the gagging thing is, now I just feel like I'm sorry. So now I just act like I'm jerking off. That's the easiest way to deal with that.
God damn.
When I'm having conversations with people, and they think I'm lying, they say I'm full of shit. I'm like, no, I'm not. Like, oh, you're full of shit. I'm like, no, I'm not. How can you say that? Yeah, I am not full of shit. Ah, spicy stuff. I'm a huge fan of spicy stuff. I don't know if everybody else is. It only burns going in now. I have tried to burn the stoma. I've tried. I remember those days when we used to beg for that splash just to cool it off, you know? Again, one of the advantages, my underwear lasts 10 times longer than you guys. Yeah, I no longer have to worry about that shit staying away. My shirt, maybe, every once in a while it'll leak, but now I wear the black tank tops, it fits in better and stuff like that. I'm a catheter away from being a perfect employee. Yes, you know? Anybody ever hear that story? What is it? For a dime, for a dollar, shit on a dime. Anyway, I'm gonna mess it up. It's easy prep. I have had to do my colonoscopy again since then. It's easy prep. I just put a bigger bag on. I don't have to walk to the bathroom, all that often. All right, here's the cons. I've never used a bidet. Don't know what it's like. Now I feel like I get down there on my knees, I just brush my teeth with it. Here's the other bad part, I can actually shit the bed. You know, if my bag leaks, and again, it's tough. It is what it is, but I can actually shit the bed, it happens. Intimacy is tough. This was a tough one because again, it's right there. It's right there, so I'm like, let me get my shit out of the way. That's a tough one, you know? And the other bad part is, I can get a girl shit faced and she never has a drop of drink. It's not good. Trust me, it hasn't happened. It's not good, but it's always a possibility. I put this under cons. Probably most of you guys can put this under pros. Pegging is no longer an option. The people that laugh knows exactly what that feels like.
Oh, jeez. It was me.
So, that's pretty much it for me. Again, that's my story. I'll tell you right now, this is my therapy. This is something I absolutely enjoy doing. It makes me feel better. And if nothing else, I've had a lot of people come up to me afterwards saying that you made comic out of something that's so, people think it's so anal. I mean, but just get a colonoscopy. It's really not that bad. It's the best 45 minutes worth of sleep you'll get. It feels like 8 hours. You know? It really is. But that's my time. That's my story. Thank you very much for listening to me. I appreciate it.
Keep it going for Lenny Brissett. All right, you guys ready for your headliner? You guys don't sound ready for your headliner. You guys ready for your headliner? This man I've known for a very long time. He just recorded a special called The Silliest Goose. Please be on the lookout for that. Put your hands together for Ryan Liner!
Oh my God, thank you very much. Lenny, that was fantastic. That's only your second time doing this? Really? Fuck, I kind of feel bad about myself now. You're a tough act to follow, man. That was great. Seriously. Thanks so much for coming out tonight, guys. It's a fun night. I actually recently just celebrated my 31st birthday, which is exciting. That's way more energy than that deserves. It's not an accomplishment. It's exciting though, but it's also a little scary because, you know, it means I got to start growing up, you know, trying to become more of an adult. So I did a really adult thing recently. I finally went out and blocked my mom on Facebook. That's the first thing you do as an adult. You guys remember when Facebook was fun? No, none of you. Exactly. It's been that long. Like Facebook used to be simple, you know? Used to be like, ooh, wonder how my Farmville's doing today. It's not like that anymore, you know? Now you just sign in and go, ah, crap. Turns out my aunt's racist. Like, Thanksgiving's gonna be awkward now, you know? She'll be like, I'll have the white meat. Yeah, you would. You would want the white meat. Every look on Facebook now is a debate, man. It's ridiculous. Like gun control, that's always a big debate on Facebook. Now, I was reading a comment section the other day, and the guy said that gun control is just an excuse by the government to take away our guns so they can take over the world. I remember reading that, you know, thinking, that sounds kind of scary, but I don't know, I just don't think our government is, like, competent enough to do that. Like, we've had 12 different senators send dick pics to the wrong person. Like, there was a plan for global domination. It would have been texted to a cute intern by now, right? Probably, like, attached to a dick pic. Like, hey, baby, want to see my long-term plan? Hey, fan emoji. It's cool, man. Been trying to get off Facebook, so I've been watching some reality TV shows recently, which has been cool. Been getting really into that show, Naked and Afraid. Anybody see that one? Yeah. All right, thank God. I was worried about the show. For those of you who've never seen it, it's a show where they take two random strangers, just strip them naked, and just like drop them in the middle of the Amazon. Like, it's amazing, but the cool thing about that show is you get to bring one tool to like help you survive in the wild. And I just really go on that show and bring a really crappy survival tool. You know? She'll be like, I brought these matches, they'll help us survive. And I'll just be like, I brought us some sock 'em boppers. They're more fun than a pillow fight. You guys remember sock 'em boppers? Oh my God, sock 'em boppers were boxing gloves for children. That was the whole thing. And if you had them, it was cool because you could like punch your friend in the face. But if you were poor like me, you were just a friend being punched in the face. It's insane, man. We all lived in fear of the kid with sock 'em boppers in the neighborhood. He had carte blanche just kick our asses. It was terrifying, man. All of our games were just based off of pain and violence growing up, man. That's all they were. You know? Anybody here have a skip it growing up? Yeah. Yeah. A couple of you guys hobbled in here from having the skip it. Yeah, you remember. Yeah, the skip it was this ball that you would attach to your ankle like a 1920s chain gang. And then you would just swing it around until you blew out your ACL. That was the only way a game of skip it ended. There was never a game of skip it that was like, wow, that was fun. Gonna put this down. No. They all ended just, fuck! It's crazy, man. It's skip it. We had Red Rover. Hell yeah. Anybody here play Red Rover? Yeah, everyone did one person clapping because they liked Red Rover. That's insane to me. Red Rover was a game where you would just line up on a parking lot, not grass, a parking lot, and you'd link arms and you just yell out, Red Rover, send the weakest kid over. And then I would come out. And like the point was to run as fast as you can and get clotheslined and then wake up in the nurse's office the next day. It's an awesome game. Red Rover, we had dodgeball. They don't let kids play dodgeball anymore. Isn't that crazy? We banned dodgeball before AR-15s. Isn't that wild to think about? Everybody knows the game dodgeball. Pick up a ball, throw it, get them out, whatever. I like to kind of gauge the audience to see who's a fellow masochist in here. Because in my school, we had a special rule. Our rule was headshots don't count. So you could just get beat in the face with a ball and your gym teacher would come over and be like, don't worry, Jimmy. It was a headshot. It didn't count. You still get to play. Isn't this fun? Crazy, man. Pain and violence. Some of our games had like weird sexual undertones, you know? Like, anybody hear about Bop It growing up? Yeah. Yeah, man, that was like, it was a stick that it would just like shout directions at you, and like, you just like hit the button and be like, it would be bop it, and you're like, twist it, flick it, spit in my mouth, Daddy, what? All right, that was a new one, that went well, cool. I was worried. Yeah. I don't know, man. Board games are like the opposite of that, right? You know? Like I was playing the game of Life recently, you know? And like they need to update that thing. You know? It's like I was like rolling dice and it's like, ooh, tax break in your favor, collect $300. Like, that doesn't happen in Life. You kidding me? They gotta update that thing, you know? Roll the dice. Vending machine was out of peanut butter M&Ms. Try not to kill yourself. That's what my update of Life would be. My generation's lucky. This is new. I don't know if you guys are gonna like this, but you guys seem cool. Like our generation, it's cool because I'm a millennial. We had some toys that were actually banned by the government. Like, I had a Furby growing up, which was the Furby was like this little like satanic looking creature that would just like, it would talk to you and you could raise it and everything like that. And the cool thing about it was, if you nursed it enough, it would actually record your voice and it would like say things back to you. So the NSA actually banned it because they were like, this seems like it's from China. My grandmother had a Furby, which was cool. She was a cool lady, my grandma. She just bought a Furby because she was like, she wouldn't have fit in. And she was determined to get this Furby to talk to her, man. She tried so hard to get this Furby to talk to her. Every day she woke up, she talked to it, she fed it, did all this stuff. And finally, one day, that Furby, in an exact recording of my grandfather's voice, spoke to my grandmother and said, "Phyllis, would you shut the hell up?" Amazing. Oh, man. I blame my toys for me being an alcoholic, which is cool. I'm an alcoholic, you know. When I tell people that, they get very judgy. You know, they'll say things like, "I feel sorry for you. I don't need alcohol to have fun." It's like, joke's on you. I don't need fun to have alcohol. Like, I've gotten blacked out drunk before because it was a solid drink deal. Did you ever do that, you know? Just get casually faced at like brunch, you know? You'll read a drink special that makes you suddenly competitive against the bar. Like, I can pay $9 for all you can drink mimosas. If I drink 6 of these things, I'm gonna break even. But if I slam back 15, I start making a profit. It's basic economics, people. Going to bed drunk, waking up a billionaire. You never wake up a billionaire, though. Not once. Can you believe it? Can't do a lot of things, though, after a night of heavy drinking. Especially if you black out, you know? Can't do things you can't remember. Can't watch the news anymore. That's a problem after a night of blackout drinking. The news just becomes like this weird game of, "Well, I hope that wasn't me." Newscaster will say something like, "Police have still not been able to identify the man stealing boats from the local yacht club." Ooh, I did just watch that Pirates of the Caribbean movie. Hope that wasn't me. Nothing good happens after a night of blackout drinking. That's what I'm trying to say, guys. Although that's not entirely true, because you know, I did recently get blacked out and I woke up to find out that I signed up for Uber, which was exciting. But then I reread the email and I signed up to be an Uber driver. I got blacked out drunk and woke up employed. It's a weird moment in your life when you find out your blacked out alter ego is like more ambitious than you. Yeah. But even that didn't have a happy ending because the next night I got blacked out again and woke up to find out that I got fired from Lyft. I did not know I worked there. Blacked out Icarus flew too close to the sun that day. Oh man, it's cool. I'm an alcoholic. I'm single, which is exciting. Thank you, one. It's always a guy who claps. It's never a Victoria's Secret model in the back. Yay! No, it's always just some guy. It's cool. I've been single for a while now. You know, like I don't know if you guys ever reached this point, but I've been single so long, and my mom is trying to set me up with every person in existence. You know, like she'll come up to me now like, "Ooh, she works at Wawa." You like Wawa? Yeah, I was wanting somebody who made me laugh. I should settle for sandwich maker at this point. It's even worse with my sister. My sister recently went on vacation, and as a souvenir, she brought me back a voodoo doll that was like designed to help me find love and a happy relationship. That's when I realized I've been single so long, my family has resorted to the dark arts. Oh, that's cool, man. I don't know how much longer I'll be single, though, guys. I'll be honest, because my new job, all the women there are coming up to me telling me how cute they think I am. Which is cool, but like it's a little weird, because I work at a retirement home. Like, you laugh. Elderly women are aggressive. They know what they want, and they will go for it. They are Kobe Bryant in the All-Star game, just padding the stats, man. They know their clock's running out. They don't care. Give an example. I was calling bingo recently, and I called out the number 069. Yeah, someone said Jesus. Yeah. Whoever you want to thank for that, that's fine. Yeah, but it said 069, but a 94-year-old woman looked me dead in the eyes, and she winked. So the voodoo doll is working. That's the good news. Oh man, my job's cool. I enjoy my job. It's fun, you know, working at a retirement home. It's cool. It's cool. It's, you know, every day is a new adventure. My job is just basically like watching the show. Like kids say the darndest things, but with dementia. That's my job, you know. So I work in activities. My job's supposed to go there, you know, get them to come out, have fun. You know, give an example. The other day, I went up to one of my members and I said, like, Miss Mary, you want to come play some bingo with us? And Miss Mary went, oh, Ryan, I'm just so tired. I was like, oh, come on, Miss Mary, it'll be fun. And she just went, I'm pooping! And a bunch of orderlies just came and took her away. Think about that for a minute. Miss Mary just came up with a way to get out of doing anything for the rest of her life. We can all do that at work on Monday. Your boss calls you like, hey, you coming in today? I'm pooping! Oh God, all right. Take the day off. You've earned it. Oh man, my job's cool. I enjoy it a lot. It's fun, but it's made me realize people around me are aging terribly, you know? Like my dad, he's aging horrendously. That's like he's at the point where he can't hear anymore. That's where his aging processes went. Give an example. The other day we went to Wendy's. At the end of the transaction, the lady behind the counter said to my dad, she said, sir, would you like to donate $1 to St. Jude's Hospital? And my dad just went, what happened to the Jews? Like some kind of a crazy old person. It was amazing though because they had no idea how to handle it, so we just got everything for free. It was sick. I'm gonna take dementia dad everywhere. You know, go to Target, load up a cart. Oh, sir, you forgot to pay. Oh, good. The Jews are okay. Wonderful. That's cool, man. He's in bad shape and I'm in bad shape because he gave me all his crappy jeans. Like we're both Irish, so like I'm getting sunburned right now. Yeah. I go to a club and people are like, shake what your daddy gave you. I'm like, how do I shake predisposition to diabetes? Doesn't feel shakeable. I'm in bad shape, man. I'm actually in such bad shape, a doctor recently diagnosed me with sleep apnea, which is exciting. Thank you, hold the applause. For those of you who don't know what that is, sleep apnea is a disorder, which means sometimes when I fall asleep, my body will stop breathing. And I think that's a testament to how lazy I am. Because like I stop paying attention for a second, and my body's like, all right, thank God, wrap this thing up. Get this show on the road. It's cool, man. So my doctor told me I gotta start going to the gym. It's like the lamest reason to start going to the gym, you know, not to pick up chicks, just to not choke on my neck fat while I'm asleep. That's why I get to go to the gym. Some people really like going to the gym, and I question those people, you know? Like, I have a friend, she tells me, go to the gym, exercising, greatest high they've ever experienced. And I'm like, man, you've never had pizza while drunk. Because that's an amazing high, you know? Also, I'm going to go out on a limb. If you say that, I don't think you've done drugs before. It's not great, but it's true. People have sucked dick for drugs. Nobody's sucking dick to go on a jog. Some of you are laughing at that. And the rest of you, I assume, have sucked dick to go on a jog. And I have questions. It's cool, man. I don't fit into the gym. In case my shirt didn't give that away. I don't, man. It's wild. You know, because like the gym is full of like those big, buff, masculine guys, you know? They make that cool noise, lift weights. This is true. The other day, I was lifting weights, I made this noise. I made, that's my exercise noise. Like a terrible Michael Jackson impression. Then someone else slammed their weights in the ground. I felt my man boobs jiggle. Just moonwalked out that thing like, I'm out of here. Just left. It's crazy. What? Oh, I just didn't hear it. I'm not. Oh, he's the one guy not looking at the stage is the one who said that. Okay. That's cool.
He's taking Jim.
He's a buff guy?
Oh, yeah.
He loves the gym so much he's only watching. You're watching fucking college gymnastics instead of me? Do you know how hurtful that is? I took time out of my day and he's like, gee, I wonder who's going to make the pole vault in Michigan versus Nebraska. They're on rotation 5 of 6.
Austin, you messed up.
Shit, man. Now I kind of just want to watch. We're going to watch Taylor Christophilus do his thing real quick. Cool. I don't know, is that good gymnastics? I don't know. Austin, is that good gymnastics? Give me like a scale of 1 to 10 with that.
What is it, Austin?
A 6? Fuck that guy. Only a 6? He's not going to the Olympics. That's what I just did for my comedy time. Cool. All right. Let's talk about jokes again. I wish I could lose weight. I'd do anything to lose weight. Except for like diet and exercise. Fuck that. That seems really hard. I'm like, can I just like make a deal with the devil or something? That'd be so cool. I love food. That's my problem, man. I love food. Like I read online the other day that the average male thinks about sex every 30 seconds. And that's how frequently I think about Taco Bell quesadillas. Like, I'm thinking about them right now. I'm like, get that special sauce in my belly. I can't fucking stop watching gymnastics now. Now that I've noticed it, I'm like trying to deliver a punch. I'm like, is he gonna make that flip? I don't know. Oh man, it's cool. It's cool. We're having fun. We're having fun, I think. I don't know, maybe I suck. I don't know. Oh God.
You're doing great.
Thank you. One person is a positive influence. You all could have chimed in there, you know? We all could have been like, yeah, fuck gymnastics! But no, we're just gonna let me die on stage up here. That's fun. Oh, man. Let's see, we talked about, I don't fit in the gym. We talked about that. My face is hilarious. We can talk about that for a couple of minutes if you guys want. And like some women, they say they have RBF, which stands for resting bitch face. You know? I think I have the opposite of that. Like what I like to call a resting nice guy face. Like my face looks like, if you hit me with your car, I would apologize to you. Like I look like, yeah, I could talk to that guy at a urinal for a while, that's fine. Nothing threatening about him. Like I look like I could be a DARE counselor. You guys remember DARE? Yes. Anybody know what DARE stands for?
No.
Successful program! We did it! Nobody does. What was it?
Drugs and alcohol resistance. Yes.
Fuck you, man. Getting heckled by Wikipedia over there. She wasn't even paying attention. She was watching gymnastics and was like, who said no one knows what DARE is? I'm gonna fuck up this entire set. It's insane, man. It does stand for that, apparently. I don't know. Honestly, you could have said anything. We all would have been like, oh yeah, that's what it stands for. DARE was this program where they would come to your school and they'd be like, hey, you're 6. You don't know what drugs are. This is what drugs are. And you'd be like, wow, that sounds cool. And they'd be like, no. We don't want you to do the drugs. They're like, Ryan, we're going to show you why you don't need to do drugs. We're going to have a lock-in at a bowling alley with pizza. And I was like, oh man, awesome. I love pizza. I love bowling. It's going to be the night of my life. So I went there to the lock-in, and they gave me 1 slice of pizza. And that was it. So I went home and did crystal meth. I was like, I'm finished with this. Oh, that's cool, man. You guys got me sidetracked with it. I forgot where I was. Who said bullshit? You don't know my life. Hang on. Alright, I don't know if this joke's gonna work here. We're gonna give it a try. Got any alpha males in the building tonight?
Yeah, what's up?
One guy? Thank you for taking time from complaining about Taylor Swift online to be here. We appreciate it. I've become obsessed with alpha male culture, man. It's cool, right? Like, it's wild, you know? Because I have friends who pretend to be alpha males, you know? They pretend to be these big manly men, but they get triggered over the dumbest stuff. You know, like the other day, I was like, hey man, it's kind of cold out. You want to put on a jacket? And he was just like, I'm not a pussy! Like, alright, cool. It's fine, man. Like, my friends, they get triggered over the dumbest stuff. I had a friend make fun of me once for not being manly because I wanted to use an oven mitt. What am I supposed to use, you know? He was like, just use your shirt tail, be a man. Like, what? What else am I not allowed to use, you know? Like, look at Mr. Frou-Frou over there using a seatbelt. Back in my day, we just died. It's ridiculous, man. I don't know, I love, because like they're starting to like target things to alpha males nowadays and marketing and stuff like that. They create entire things. Like, does anybody see those advertisements for the alpha male boot camps that they have online now? Yeah. One guy, cool, this joke just for you. The rest of you fuck off. The show, what it is, an alpha male boot camp, and it's this thing where you pay like an extraordinary amount of money for them to go do a boot camp where they teach you how to be a man. But really, they just like spray you with water and call you gay for a week. like it's insane. Like every one of those guys would be so much happier if they could admit they wouldn't get pegged by AOC. Like, this is not a pegged by AOC crowd, apparently. Aggressively, no. Why, you wouldn't get pegged by her? No. Probably not me either, to be honest. I'm very fragile. Oh man, it's cool. It's fun. We're having fun, I think. Still watching gymnastics. It's not even gymnastics anymore. It's a guy drinking water, Austin. You could pretend to be interested for that. Oh man.
What's going on?
It's cool. I'm not an angry guy. I don't get mad about a lot of things. But I do get mad. There's like one thing that bothers me. That's that like I have to call somebody a landlord. You know? That bothers me. You know, like I have to call somebody a landlord. Like, really, you're the lord of the land? Are you? You're the lord of the land? Like, yes, I'm the lord of these 22 crappy one-bedroom apartments. Ignore the cockroaches. I'll put white paint over them shortly. Guys wanted to move out of my parents' basement. Now I'm writing checks to, I almost said pegged by Frank the Wonderful. Fuck. It was because of the gymnastics. Now I'm writing checks to Frank the Wonderful, first of his name. That joke is really funny, but I fucked it up. It's okay. You'll have to take my word for that. My landlord's not a lord of the land. He's a goblin living under the bridge. You know, call him up with a maintenance request. Just gives me a riddle. Like, hey man, my toilet's overflowing. Ah, fiddle-dee-dee, you've discovered the moat of mystery. Wonderful. I think it's a true story. The other day, I called my landlord, right? Because the paint on my wall was melting. And it was dripping. And every time I tell them, like, what? I'm like, I don't know how to explain it, but the paint was melting. And I called my landlord, and he was just like, yeah, it does that sometimes. I fucked up by talking about AOC, because now that's all they want to talk about. They've created their own conversation sphere.
Yes.
That's okay.
That's her. No.
Do you like gymnastics too, or do you just...
So much flexible, but I'm not.
Ooh!
How you doing?
Do you play bingo? She said that was an aggressive no. She hasn't gotten to that point yet. Where the fuck was I in my set? I don't even remember.
What did you say, Chad?
I want the flexible one right now.
Whoa!
What? There she is.
I don't know what to do now. I thought we were at a comedy show. This is like a weird speed dating thing.
I guess you never met Chad.
We're like, who can fuck up the set quickly enough? I don't know. One of us. Oh shit. Alright. I'm gonna get out of here, guys. I'm gonna wrap up. You guys have been a lot of fun.
You singing, Chad?
Shit, what was I gonna do? I was gonna tell a joke. Now people are just talking, they're like shouting at each other. Like, you guys paid to see this. I don't think you like, I've gotten paid. I don't need to do a closing bit. I can just be like, yeah, let's just yell at each other for fun. It'll be... Oh man, it's cool. So, sure, we're gonna do... You waited for the crowd to be paying attention and then yelled out. Alright, I'm gonna get out of here, guys. If we're gonna do anything though, I think the point of my set, I always say, just don't take life too seriously. Have fun no matter what. It's the most important thing. You know, go ahead. Clap for that. Sure. You know, I'm going to give you an example before I get out of here. It's something near and dear to my heart. It's a story because I do actually work at a retirement home. That's true about me. And you know, this one time, there's this group of people who they've been playing bridge together for 20 years, every single day at the senior center. They've been playing bridge, you know. And actually, like recently, one of them, while playing bridge, actually had a heart attack. They dropped. I had to go in. I did CPR. We called 911. It was a terrible, crazy day, you know. And I went back into my office, and I thought to myself, you know, like, that's crazy. They've been playing bridge together for 20 years, and this happens, you know. And like, I'm devastated. You don't want to go back to work after doing that, you know. But I thought about it, and I'm like, I barely know this guy, right? You know, like, I don't know him very well. These guys, they've been playing bridge with him for 20 years. They need somebody to go in and talk to them, perk their spirits up a little bit. So I walked back into that room where they were playing bridge, and it was dead silent. Because these fuckers were all still playing bridge. As if nothing had happened. It was insane. Like, gangbangers and the elderly think about death the same way. Like, if I had to get between Hell's Angels or Gam Gammon or Pudding Cups, Hell's Angels every time. That's crazy, man. And, you know, I talked to my dad, gave him a call, and he was like, "You know the Jews?" I was like, no, not the Jews, not this time. But, you know, I told my dad the story, and he said, you know, Ryan, the thing about that, you know, if he did die, at least he died doing what he loved, which is beautiful. That's so true. And it made me think, you know, like, if I were going to die doing what I love, it would probably be this. You know, I love stand-up. I love making people laugh. I love tearing Austin away from gymnastics. It's one of my favorite things in the world. So I want everybody in here to know that if I ever die during a show, for the love of God, end the show! Show some respect! Hey guys, I'm Ryan Lenny. You have been so much fun. Thank you so much.
One more time, Ryan Liner. Hey, let's give a round of applause to all our comedians tonight. Des Grimes, Bob Heisler, Lenny Brissett. I'm Byron Brooks. Please follow us all on social media. It gets us money. You guys have a great night. Tip your bar staff, tip your waitresses. Good night.